active life. That time and place are here. The Institute for Minimally Invasive Surgery at Cabell Huntington Hospital, where small incisions are the best decision.
Hurricane Chevrolet is hitting the bullseye with up to $14,500 off new Chevys. Save $14,500 off a 2017 Silverado 1500. Yes, $14,500. Or a 2018 Chevrolet Equinox LT for $199 a month. $199. You'll enjoy all the benefits of the Rev Rewards program, lifetime engine guarantee, free oil changes, and much more. But only at Hurricane Chevrolet. Exit 34 off I-64 or online at hurricanechevrolet.com.
We begin first at 5 tonight with a breaking news alert. Testing going on at Capitol High School that has nothing to do with academics as the county deals with a serious health issue, mold.
And we now know testing shows 60 of the 188 rooms at the high school have elevated mold and CO2 levels. News Channel 3's Nathan Tackett joins us now live. And Nathan, the school will be closed for the rest of the week as a result.
At least the rest of the week, Amanda. Certainly a different scene here than about a week and a half ago when testing on those elevated levels started. I was here then. 3 rooms were shut down at that point, but now it's 60 of the 188 rooms in the building, they say, have those elevated levels, so that's nearly 1/3 of the building. They need to clean it up, so as a result, they're shutting down for at least the rest of the week. And the findings were announced today in front of teachers, parents, and students at a meeting. They're still working to determine the source of the problem. They suspect it from the HVAC system, but they're not sure at this point. Once they discover where it's from, then they're going to have to go clean all the rooms, retest all the rooms as well. Right now, the projection is 4 days, but it could end up being a little bit longer than that. The principal is expected to give parents an update later this week. Meanwhile, nursing officials at the school system say mold usually not a major danger to the health of most students, but they say this closure is another case of being safe rather than sorry.
We're always going to see students complaining of respiratory issues. I mean, that's just part of being a kid and growing up and playing outdoors. You're going to be exposed to it too. We have not seen a sudden increase in those symptoms. But of course we want to take every precaution so that while they're in school, nothing is causing them to have those type of symptoms.
And so school leaders, as an extra precaution, are encouraging parents, especially with 4 days here, to ask your children if they're experiencing any symptoms, especially respiratory, breathing symptoms. And if they are, school officials are recommending that their parents take them to see their family doctor or a pediatrician.
All right, Nathan, thanks so much. School leaders say all extracurricular activities will continue as scheduled, and we will check back in with Nathan coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Now to a developing story as a new line of attack on the opioid epidemic is underway, all aimed at creating fewer drug addicts.
It's starting with a letter from most of the country's attorneys general, including from Kentucky and West Virginia. They're asking health insurance companies to follow the money. It means if you have pain problems in the future, you may see a new treatment plan.
If they can pull this off, I think is fabulous.
Pulling this off by changing the incentives for prescribing pain pills, which doctors say is often the cheapest option to treat problems.
We have a patient who comes in with back pain where we'd be able to stick a patch on. Well, that patch is $100 a month. A prescription of Norco or one of the other pain meds is $4. So it comes down to a cost for the patient.
We're going to save lives.
But an announcement Monday from Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear and West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrissey aims to look at changes. Part of 37 attorneys general asking for health insurance companies to reconsider their financial payments for various drugs and therapies. Beshear says pain pills are the gateway drug for almost 80% of heroin addicts. So, fewer pills, fewer addicts.
But what I hope we do is that we lower or reverse the rate of new addiction, because that's when we really start making gains.
So more physical therapy or chiropractor or other less addictive pain meds, especially for someone like that injured high school athlete. Officials say a complex problem, which includes enforcement, education, and treatment, now has a new line of attack.
That has not been done before. I think that in tandem with many of the other initiatives we're talking about will make a real difference.
And they have a believer in Janet Walcott.
I'm kind of very excited about this.
Officials are clear this effort is not to keep pain medications from people with chronic long-term pain needs. Again, this letter to the health insurance industry is signed by 37 attorneys general. Ohio is not one of them. Coming up next hour, we'll tell you what their threat is if the industry is not responsive. Well, listen to that when weakening Hurricane Jose is off the coast of Virginia, moving north, kicking up surf along the East Coast.
This was the scene of Virginia Beach. Jose's center will most likely stay out to sea, but the National Hurricane Center says parts of the U.S. are already feeling that dangerous surf and rip currents due to the storm. Jose has maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour, and it's expected to be downgraded to a tropical storm. Now, meanwhile, it's round two. The Caribbean in the crosshairs once again, this time from Maria. Another potentially destructive hurricane is strengthening following almost the identical path of devastation left by Irma. Just days after the ferocious Category 5 storm tore through the islands, leaving thousands without homes and businesses demolished, hurricane warnings and watches are once again up. Time now to get a check on your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tony Cavalier. I actually just saw a tweet from somebody in the Virgin Islands who was saying, hey, we are hunkering down and once again and preparing for the worst.
This is roughly 75 to 100 miles farther south, so it's more the central Virgin Islands. We'll be showing you maps of that. But the bottom line is when there are hurricanes out over the ocean, oftentimes we have some of the nicest weather of the late summer and early fall. And that's exactly where we are. On to your first forecast here this evening. Warm sunshine giving way to a cozy twilight. Of course, the sun's going down earlier and earlier now, around 7:30. Temperatures falling from the 80s into the 70s and 60s by midnight. School bell temperature with patchy dense fog near 60. A quick rise in temperature to 75 by the lunch hour. As the fog lifts with light winds, we wind up with a thicker haze day by day. And the late day temperature tomorrow with warm sunshine in the middle 80s. Doppler radar continues quiet with satellite indicating some patches of cloud. There have been a couple of buildups over into Webster, Randolph, and Nicholas County, but for the most part, even those are widely scattered and brief. A couple showers from Louisville down toward Paducah we're watching, but as we widen out, that high pressure will deflect most of those to the north and west. All the while, Jose out over the ocean will be trying to slurp any moisture from the continent and keep it out over the ocean. And that sets us up for a delightful spell of weather. Summer's last hurrah through Friday will be absolutely breathtaking. Sunshine and very warm, if not hot temperatures, especially toward the weekend. We're tracking that double trouble threat of Jose and Maria. And by the way, starting tomorrow, it's Apple Days are here again up in Jackson, Ohio. We'll talk about the forecast when I come back here on First at 5.
All right, Tony, thanks so much. A newly released picture apparently shows a large crack in the Fireball ride that broke apart back in July during the Ohio State Fair.
An 18-year-old high school student died when the ride malfunctioned, throwing one of the ride's carriages into the air. His girlfriend remains critically injured. 6 others were also hurt. Now, as Rob Sneed reports, a lawyer for one victim says a picture taken right before the accident is raising more questions about that day.
This is the picture that's raising eyebrows. You can see what appears to be a large crack across one of the gondola arms on the Fireball.
I mean, you can see it from the ground. And so I would expect that the operators who are at that ride and who are walking around the ride every time that starts and every time it stops, it'd be very, very shocking to me that that was not noticeable to them.
Keziah Lewis's lawyer, Bart Keys, says this picture is evidence in this case.
The Ohio Highway Patrol sent the picture, and it is a photograph that was taken by another patron of the fair on one of the ride cycles before the one where the gondola broke.
In its report, OSHP references a picture showing a crack across the ride, but has never released that image and would not confirm if this is the same one. But Keys says this was indeed taken right before the Fireball broke in the air. This morning, crews began the task of inspecting and breaking down the ride, removing other seats that stayed intact during the accident.
When they were taken off, we saw the same type of corrosion in each one that occurred in the one that broke. So you could look down in the open arms of those gondolas and you could see that same corrosion in every single one. This was happening in all of these gondolas, and it could have been any one of them that could have broken. It just happened to be this one this time.
With all of these problems now brought to light, Key says this is a prime example of why operators need to keep a close eye out.
It's extremely unfortunate that they weren't paying close enough attention to see this.
No one is facing criminal charges in this case. Independent experts started inspecting the ride on Saturday. They're expected to look at other pieces of metal on the ride.
Two people are dead in Ohio after their bodies were found in an apartment complex over the weekend. Columbus police were called to the Taylor House luxury community around 2:30 in the morning Sunday. They found Heather Campbell and Kyle Lafferty dead inside a first-floor apartment. A friend of Campbell, who was a student at Ohio State, says she was concerned and wanted police to check on her. Neighbors say they heard loud voices and possibly a gunshot, and they're believing at this point that these deaths were a murder-suicide, with Lafferty pulling the trigger. A power crew, listen to this, had to kill 6 copperhead snakes while out on a service call in Pike County, Kentucky.
Just another day, right, Amanda? The line crew supervisor, who has worked for Kentucky Power for 37 years, told us he has never seen anything like it. I imagine few people have. The crew was called to fix a broken power pole and restore power to about a dozen people in the Grassy Fork area of Raccoon Creek. 6 snakes were killed. One managed to get away and slither into the woods. Listen to this. Authorities say a father scaring his daughter results in a chase around the neighborhood, a gunshot, and charges against 2 men. And this happened in Boardman, Ohio, near Youngstown. Police say Vernon Barrett Jr. wore a clown mask and chased his 6-year-old daughter around the neighborhood. It ended with a child going to a stranger's apartment, screaming to the family that a clown was chasing her. Authorities say when the family looked out the window and saw the girl's father wearing the clown mask, Dion Santiago fired a gunshot into his yard but missed. The police report says Barrett is charged with child endangerment and inducing panic, and Santiago is charged with using weapons while intoxicated. Now to a neighborhood crime alert in Scioto County, where neighbors are reporting several break-ins at homes in West Portsmouth.
Some families hit multiple times over the last 3 months, and homeowners, as you might imagine, are getting frustrated. One man telling us just this past weekend someone snuck into his home while he and his daughter were asleep. News Channel 3's Chad Hedrick joins us now. And Chad, this man is shedding some light on the problem in hopes of stopping another incident from happening.
Yeah, Amanda, Tony Carr says he's tired of having to live in fear for his family's safety and is hoping by speaking out, those responsible for causing so much unrest will be caught. He says the break-ins have been on and off occurrence for about 2 months now. He himself has been hit 3 times, most recently this past Saturday night. He says his daughter woke up Sunday morning and found their back door wide open and could tell someone had tried to get into her bedroom while she slept. He says if this is somebody that needs help in some way and is trying to survive, he would be glad to help, but he won't tolerate someone breaking in and scaring his family.
Whatever I can do to try to help somebody. I don't want to be a person to hurt somebody. I like to be the person that, you know, see somebody in need and pray with them. You know, I don't want to hurt somebody, but if they come in my house again, especially when my daughter's there, I mean, I'm just going to have to do what I got to do.
Tony has even posted about the break-ins on a Scioto County Facebook group. He says he's hoping his message reaches those responsible and they stop breaking in. He also wants to put neighbors on alert to watch out. And Amanda, Tony says he believes a driving force behind these break-ins are drugs.
Sadly, we see it all too often.
Yep.
Chad, thanks. The Scioto County Sheriff's Office is now taking a closer look. Still on your 5:30 edition, game day break-ins.
Despite the team's big win this weekend, there's some upset Marshall fans. Several cars broken into. And after the break, keeping your kids safe. Car crashes, a leading cause of death for children, but most of the time, those deaths and injuries can be prevented.
Next, we hear from a mom who says a properly installed car seat saved her young son's life. Hey, we have a traffic alert to pass along to you this evening. All westbound lanes of I-64 at mile marker 46 are shut down, all because of a vehicle fire. This is in the Nitro area. Dispatchers tell us they believe there were loose rounds of ammunition in the vehicle, and the fire, it's now out. But as you can see, this is the Cross Lanes area. Traffic is at a standstill, so we will keep you updated on this one throughout the evening. Thanks.
And no evening rush hour to talk about crossing the Grant Bridge right now in Portsmouth, Ohio. You can see in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, the bottomlands are lush and ready for a bumper crop of soy and corn. Forecast talks harvest time and talks your work and school week forecast when I come back on First at 5.
At WSAZ, we know that for some people, 11 o'clock is just too late. Maybe you work odd hours. Maybe you're an early riser. Maybe you're just not a night person. But you can still keep up with what's going on. Just watch WSAZ 10 o'clock news on the Tri-State CW. It's the same great coverage you get at 11 with the hard work you expect from WSAZ and the team of experienced journalists you trust. WSAZ 10 o'clock news on the Tri-State CW. The right news at the right time.
legendary Hemi engine or a powerful, proven Cummins turbo diesel engine. It's capable of carrying on great American traditions. Hurry in for $1,000 Power Days bonus cash on powerful Ram trucks.
Get 0% APR for 72 months or get an average $13,811 in total values on the 2017 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
With more than 30 2- and 4-year low-cost, high-quality degree programs, Ohio University Southern has been changing lives in the tri-state for more than 60 years. Are you ready for a change? Enroll today.
Me and you just singing on the train, me and you listening to the rain, me and you sitting on the lawn, me and you just singing our song just to rhyme, to shine and to pass the time.
Step up to GMC and get nearly $10,400 total value on this 2017 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate model. We are professional grade GMC.
Whether you're hurt by a dump truck or any kind of commercial vehicle, you could have a big case worth big money. I'm attorney Jeff Stewart, and I know how to win big truck cases. If a big truck has hurt you, call me.
Call 1-800-324-3434. WSAZ, first warning weather, giving you the time you need.
Well, it is Child Passenger Safety Week.
It's a good time to make sure car seats are fitted into vehicles correctly. And as Erica Edwards reports, ensuring your most precious cargo stays safe on the roads.
And I know we're supposed to have it in between the two arrows, right?
Joe Mason is fulfilling one of his last duties as an expectant father, making sure the car seat for his soon-to-arrive daughter is installed properly.
I think I passed the test. It was good, so.
He's come to Britax headquarters in Fort Mill, South Carolina. They're experts in both manufacturing car seats, as well as ensuring that when the products leave the assembly line, moms and dads know how to use them correctly.
They are retracted, so you're good on that.
The lessons and support are critical. Parents make mistakes with 3 out of 4 car seats.
Whether it's inappropriate for the child's age, weight, height, it's used in the wrong direction, it's not installed properly.
We had to stop driving past the scene of the accident every day.
Jennifer Puckett sees the importance of a proper car seat fit in her son's sweet smile. 1 year ago, 5-year-old Miles was a passenger in this car when it flipped over in an accident.
I cannot believe that my child was in that car.
He was found hanging upside down, safe and secure in his car seat.
Without that car seat, there's just no way. I mean, he would have been out of that vehicle.
Miles walked away with just 1 small scratch. Proof proper installation can be a lifesaver.
Well, you can find car seat checkpoints here in West Virginia on the DMV's website. The Governor's Highway Safety Program is here to help check your child's seat free of charge. Still ahead, ever wanted to live like a princess? Maybe a prince? Well, here's your chance.
All right, a fairy tale home that just hit the market. No happy or bashful buyers just yet.
And you might say the weather pattern this week, if you're on vacation, is a true fairy tale come true. Take a look at our Logan, West Virginia weather cam and expect pictures like this for the next week or 10 days. We'll talk near heat wave conditions by the weekend when I come back on First at 5.
Me and you just singing on the train, me and you listening to the rain, me and you sitting on the lawn, me and you just singing our song just to rhyme, to shine and to pass the time.
Step up to GMC and get nearly $10,400 total value on this 2017 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate model. We are professional grade GMC.
As West Virginians, we take pride in the things we own, and we're always prepared. I come from a long line of small business owners who have invested in the people and communities of West Virginia. I understand the unique insurance needs we have, and it's my goal to make sure you have just the right amount of coverage without overpaying. That's why more of your friends and neighbors are switching to GEICO for their insurance needs. We serve all of West Virginia, so give us a call to see how much you can save.
It
was a normal day. I was on my way to pick up my little girl after work, and a drunk driver came out of nowhere and hit me head on. My medical bills began piling up, and I didn't know what to do. So I contacted Woolfle & Woolfle. I came in for a free consultation, and they took care of everything. It lifted a huge burden off of me and my family, and they were such a blessing to me.
Woolfle & Woolfle. We've helped thousands of people just like you.
Every morning, I thought I had to make a choice. Do I use a toothpaste that whitens my teeth, or one that's good for my teeth? Now I don't have to choose. My dentist told me about new Crest Whitening Therapy, so I tried it.
From Crest 3D White comes new whitening therapy. It's our best whitening technology. Plus, it has a fortifying formula to protect your enamel.
Now I get a whiter smile and healthy teeth all in one.
The 3D White collection from Crest. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
HD Dual Doppler Radar, brought to you by the Hands of Experience at St. Mary's Medical Center.
First warning weather.
Well, Tony, it's just amazing to see just how perfect this weather is. 80s for a high, 60s a low for night. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more here in September.
And that can happen oftentimes September into October when you have hurricanes over the ocean that are missing our area. And that's certainly in the forecast the next week to 10 days. Starting this evening, your first forecast, 80 at 6 o'clock, falling back to 70 by 9 o'clock and 65 midnight, a beautiful red sky twilight. And these are downtown temperatures. If your soccer match finishes after the sun goes down in a rural area, you'll be cooler quicker. A lot of high school soccer games on, for example, Monday evening. We'll start tomorrow morning, much like today, with some patchy dense fog near 60. Sunshine of the hazy variety tomorrow, and the late day temperature, we hit 75 lunch hour and 85 by the end of the day. With 50% humidity, the air is getting a little humidified. Temperatures in the low and mid 80s from I-64 into the West Virginia and Kentucky coal fields. 70s are common in the mountains, and even the mountains are going to be into the 80s before this pattern winds down, and that could be another week or 10 days. So lots of sunshine. We've been tracking a couple specks on Doppler radar in the high country, barely worth mentioning. A quickie shower or sprinkle up into parts of eastern Nicholas, Webster, and Randolph County, but overall, fair weather dominating. Now, there is a nice little streak of showers crossing from Paducah toward Louisville. However, as we widen out, high pressure is going to take most of those showers and push them off to the north. There could be a passing shower, whether it be tomorrow night or into Wednesday. But for the most part, with hurricane, let's see now, which one is this? Jose out over the ocean. There have been so many. As this churns, it's literally sucking the moisture from the continent out over the ocean and leaves us high and dry. And another hurricane out in the distant Atlantic Ocean near the Virgin Islands, Maria, is going to do the same. So we've got a very warm and dry weather pattern on tap. Start tomorrow morning under fair skies with some patches of fog. A shower off to the west, but we have a dry day for the most part. There's a chance a shower could try to sneak in tomorrow evening, but it likely just fades away. And basically, we have warm sunshine through the rest of this week. In fact, the big picture is really fascinating from the meteorologist's standpoint. The high pressure, it's called the Bermuda High, and it basically is a traffic cop, and it's taking storms from the African coast and crossing all the way across through the West Indies toward the United States. At the same time, as the high pressure works in tandem with the heat high over us, it literally is starting to mash the atmosphere, and that will make for a very warm, if not hot, atmosphere that will be virtually totally dry the next 10 days. And the hurricane track, we're going to have to watch Maria through the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and eventually get into that famous hurricane alley with the possibility of the East Coast seeing some effects. But the bottom line, a pattern like this sees hot sunshine developing and staying with us for most of this week. Just one chance of a passing shower. Pleasant this evening, a beautiful red sky sunset coming on. Temperatures in the 70s as the sun sets in a blaze of glory. Clear and comfy overnight, foggy pre-dawn at 60. Your Tuesday forecast, early fog giving way to sunshine, and with light breezes, the morning fog lifts into a haze. The high temperature, 83 degrees. Slight chance of a brief shower, whether it's tomorrow night or early Wednesday. But for the most part, for Apple days up in Jackson, Ohio, we've got a streak of hot, sunshiny days. Daytime highs in the mid, if not upper 80s to near 90 by the weekend, and overnight lows near 60 degrees. And dare I say, it will feel like summertime as we head into the first weekend of fall, Amanda.
All right, we'll enjoy it while it lasts. Tony, thanks. Coming up, the television industry honors its own.
We have a recap of the 69th Emmy Awards ahead in our 5:30 edition.
Don't miss the really big summer sell-down going on now. Only at Moses Factory Outlet on Corridor G and Moses Factory Outlet in Tays Valley. Inventory is at an all-time high, so prices are at an all-time low. If you can't find the used car you're looking for, chances are we have it. We'll even buy your car for top dollar, whether you buy from us or not. Go to MosesOutlets.com for more, or come see for yourself. You always save more at the outlet store. So hurry to Moses Factory Outlet on Corridor G and in Tays Valley today.
This is not a drill.
The Celea laser is the most advanced dental laser in the world today.
Simpson Dental has the only Celea laser in West Virginia. This advanced laser is for both hard and soft tissue and requires little or no anesthesia for most users.
I didn't feel a thing, and I didn't have to be numbed.
Learn more about laser dentistry at wvsmiles.com or call to see if you're a candidate for Celea.
At Simpson Dental Associates.
Michael Weinstein has filed 52 lawsuits against government agencies in 7 states, including Ohio. Now he's pushing Issue 2, which requires Ohio to pay legal bills for Weinstein's gang. Here's the official ballot language. Require the state to pay petitioners reasonable attorney fees and other expenses. Before you trust a man who sued government agencies 52 times, read the ballot language yourself. Go to whatisissue2.com, then vote no on Issue 2.
Hard work is what made our country what it is today. Unfortunately, many workers were exposed to chemicals and asbestos fibers that are now causing cancer. I decided years ago that I would devote my career to helping people that have been told their life was about to change forever. I'm attorney Brian Prim. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or other form of work-related cancer, I'm here for you.
Toys R Us could be headed for bankruptcy before the holiday shopping season. Such a move would underscore the distress of retailers of all sizes as shoppers increasingly turn to online shopping. There have been more than a dozen significant retail bankruptcies this year, but none for retailers as large as Toys R Us. And cheeseburger fans, you have an extra reason to indulge today.
Today, September 18th, is officially National Cheeseburger Day. And the best way to celebrate, of course, is to fire up the grill or pay a visit to a burger joint. The first cheeseburger started popping up on menus in the 1920s, and it's been a love affair ever since. But after Friday, I am not so sure that Tim is going to be looking at a cheeseburger for quite some time, because if you look, he's still full, because that burger was like
7 burgers high.
Yeah,
it was a skyscraper.
I can still see the meat sweat going on here. I think.
Man, it was tough. It was. I didn't eat all day Saturday. Didn't eat this. I had a little.
I don't know how you
tiny
could.
plate of vegetables all day Saturday.
So you want to go for a burger after the show?
Yeah. No thanks.
All right. Well, let's go
for a while. Hey, coming up today at 5:30, a warrant sweep. Charleston's new police chief targets downtown crime. Plus, new tonight at 6, a person parents entrust with their children now under investigation after a report of physical violence against a student.
These doctors at St. Mary's Regional Heart Institute bring calm and experience to a cardiac emergency, so excellent in their life-saving procedures that Medicare has ranked them in the top 1% in the nation for helping seniors survive a heart attack. Patients know them for their care and compassion, and they've helped bring national attention to the heart and vascular program at St. Mary's. This is our chance to say thank you for giving so many patients a second chance at life. When it's serious, it's St. Mary's.
A new season, a slower pace, an ideal time to relax, and a perfect opportunity to reconnect. Lakeside at Stonewall Resort. Spend cool evenings by the fire, pleasant days on the golf course, and experience new adventures together. Book now and save up to 35% on select dates at StonewallResort.com. Stonewall Resort, close to nature, far from ordinary.
Howdy, this is Gary with Gear Brothers Body Shop. I can tell you all dang day about how we've been voted best in the tri-state and about our lifetime warranty on all repairs. But why take it from me?
Well, the first thing you notice when you walk into Gear is how clean everything is and how professional everybody is right from the get-go.
They work great with your insurance company, so you're 100% comfortable with what's going on. They're the best.
Gear Brothers Body Shop's the one to trust. Yeah, you got a friend in us.
America's fastest growing home furnishings retailer is growing even faster as Big Sandy celebrates the grand opening of our brand new superstore in Zanesville. Get up to 7 years special financing with no money down and instant rebates up to $1,000. Sealy Optimum truckload buyout. Save over 50% off. Don't pay $25.99. Sale price $12.99. Truckload buyout price $9.99. Plus get a free lifestyle power base.
Big Sandy Superstore. Experience better.
WSAZ First Warning Weather, giving you the time you need. WSAZ 530 edition.
First on your 530 edition, some very upset Marshall fans.